Holy crap, let's try this all over again. We're coming back at you guys with the AEW Full Gear review. I swear to God we did this. But, you know, interweb doesn't work right now. We're hearing the world is being hacked by random fucking immigrants that are coming up to fuck up New York City or whatever have you. But that's not the point. We're here to actually review Full Gear. So let's get into it. It's DC, it's Harold, it's Rob. I'm doing the pointing thing again, and I better line them up this time. I swear to you I do. So let's also hope that everything fucking hits and everything fucking works. But you know what? Let's actually talk positive for a second. It's been all of about 4 days since Full Gear has happened. Do you garner any different feelings about it? Hearing from the media scrum, hearing about injuries and all that other stuff. Do you feel any other type of way, or are you just as happy with the show as you were on Saturday?
Happier.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Especially since no one will see the show that got lost into oblivion. Definitely happier.
Hey, all right.
It's still a banger of a show.
You know what? I'll say this. You know, now that it's kind of had a chance to marinate, I think it was one of their best pay-per-views all year.
Definitely up there. We definitely got to watch that a Swerve Hangman.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
a few more times,
back.
Dan, to kind of compete with our Cardona Gage.
One of their best.
Watching.
Honestly, I would go so far as to say one of their best pay-per-views in their history.
Oh,
Wow.
are you in the same
That's
sentiment,
how
Harold?
there, Dan.
I was sports entertained.
I mean, especially coming from Dan. Holy shit.
You know what? It was a great pay-per-view, top to bottom. Not one bad match.
No, some questionable
Can't
stuff,
always be
but not bad.
Yeah, we did talk about
Some great
questionable
decisions too.
Some great decisions, some questionable ones we did talk about, but we'll jump into it. We'll go a little through the fucking pre-show because we kind of have to. A little bit is important. And we'll go through mainly just the important parts so we can keep track on time. That's how we do. So, MJF and Samoa Joe defending the Ring of Honor tag team titles against the Guns. This was actually a relatively good match. Joe can work with anybody. I don't think we talked about it as well on the last one. But yeah, Joe can work with anybody. MJF, he can work with the Guns. Hell, the Guns are getting better. I feel like they can start to work with anybody. Nobody's giving props to the Guns. If you hate them, that just means they're doing their job.
Yeah, I mean, literally a joke tag team 3 years ago. Just all the stupid crap they were pulling in the pandemic era. Being a bunch of little fucking nerds in the crowd. And look at them now.
Well, I think part of it is like they were considered a nepotism hire, because they're Billy's kids.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But I think what they have shown us, especially I would say even the last 6 months, is that they belong here.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Do they belong?
To steal a phrase, what was it that Cody used to say? He went from being, cast aside to being undeniable.
Oh yeah, undesirable to undeniable.
That's it. And the Guns have done that.
Yeah.
You cannot deny them.
No, sir.
And they're only getting better.
That part I'll full-blown agree with. That part I fully agree with. So, no Juice at ringside. We have found out that he has a super serious back injury and requires back surgery. And there goes the Juice. The Juice is getting surge. That sucks.
He didn't watch for the shoe.
He did not watch for the shoe. But hey, there is no hotter nurse in the game. I tell you what.
Let me tell you.
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you, boy. There you go. Now we're talking. So just comes down to it. MJF and Samoa Joe end up winning on this one. But literally right after it's over, the Guns do what the Guns do, and they go right after MJF, Pillmanizing the leg, the whole shebang, beating the living crap out of him. He's carted and stretchered out. And then, of course, as he's being loaded into the ambulance, we hear him yell to Adam Cole, "Please don't let him take my title." That's what ends the pre-show, kicks us into the main show. And it kind of left all kinds of questions, and I'm not going to get off of that one. I'm still not going to get off of that one, and we have to bring that up, but we're going to wait till we get to it later. There's some very questionable health decisions being made by the AEW staff, but we'll get into the fun that opened the show. Adam Copeland, Sting, Darby Allin against Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, Nick Wayne, Nigel McGuinness, greatest commentator to ever live, is just chopping up Christian Cage and how he's calling him Nick Wayne's new dad And even the whole kids singing Christian Cage's entrance, they're all orphan children that Christian has now fathered and substantially sent to go do yard work as every dad does. So,
and as Nigel still managed to get a rib on Brian, he still managed to throw an insult.
Rivalries die
Danielson, too.
hard, and this one it just will never die. It
Never.
will never die. They will both be 80-something years old, barely remember each other's names, and he'll just be like, "That goddamn Brian Danielson's a sadistic bastard," just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Love it.
So, we got to talk about Flair being out there too. Flair came out. He was ringside.
That suit, baby.
That fucking suit. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, and I'm surprised if you don't know, Ric Flair is in the weed game for real, for real. He has his own carts. He has his own strain of weed. The whole shebang. I am guaranteeing you this man was higher than giraffe pussy when he showed up out there, because this purple suit, oy, like it reminded you a little bit of like the outrageousness of Seth Rollins. But he wore it like, "No, bro, I'll wear this outside." And Seth is like, "I'm not wearing this outside."
Why is it a thing for wrestlers to not wear socks when they wear a suit?
We've been asking that question forever, especially with Ricky
It's a
Starks.
fashion thing,
It
bro.
might be those really low cut socks where like they just barely cover like the heel. It might be
I have
those.
seen those. Those are weird looking.
They're kind of weird, but
I don't like them.
What's
Can
the
we
old?
give a shout out to Luchasaurus for the sick choke slam bump he gave Darby in this match? I don't feel it's getting enough appreciation, and Luchasaurus has been flying under the radar for quite some time in the shadow of Christian Cage. So props
even
to Lucha for the,
even before that,
choke
Jungle
slam.
Boy, he was flying under the radar even back then too.
This is true. When he shines, he does shine bright. That's the one good thing about Luchasaurus. When he's hitting good. But of course, we already know how it goes. Darby Allin doing his crazy stuff, size, speed. He's going the matchup with him and Luchasaurus. I liked a lot. I can't help myself but reminisce of years past of the giants against the little guys. But I feel like Darby is just a little extra fucking crazy, so it gives that little extra element, and you don't know what he's gonna do. What he's gonna is he gonna slingshot himself through the ropes? Is he just gonna, how fast, how quick and crazy is he gonna be?
I mean, it's literally expect anything with this kid.
He
could take you on the mat. He's accomplished amateur wrestler, right?
Idaho State champ.
You know what he is?
Yeah.
He is the new generation Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
In that you never know, like
Minus the drugs.
you don't know.
Hey,
like
boy.
Jeff could do the lucha stuff. Darby can do that stuff. He can work a variety of different styles. I, for one, like that.
If we're going with comparisons, he is the American Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I'd say that.
Okay.
That's
Fair assessment.
That's my comparison right there. I just feel like they're both these fucking crazy wackos that you don't know what they're going to do one minute, hit something crazy the next minute, and then grapple the dog shit out of you the following minute. Win
That's
with these
true.
fucking
Darby's
seatbelt
probably
pins.
on his third shoulder in the last 2 weeks though.
Yeah.
He keeps landing on that damn shoulder, and he's trying to train to climb Mount Everest right now.
Yeah, you need both arms for that, bud.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
You need both
Slow
arms.
down.
Slow it all the way down. Have to talk about Ric Flair getting kicked in the balls. They're not low blows. I'm sick and tired of people talking it in the goddamn commentary of a low blow. If we're on TV, it's a low blow. You're on a pay-per-view, he kicked him in the balls. All right? Just let's be adults. And let's talk about this old man getting kicked in his junk.
So since we're in the TSK, he got kicked in the dick.
Kicked in the dick. There we
And
go. I love it.
Not to mention him getting some offense in on Christian Cage right in front of the referee.
The oblivious refs. The
You know,
oblivious
Mo-
refs of AEW.
Who was
Modi,
that ref?
To your point, when you can
Aubrey,
audibly
I think?
hear on pay-per-view, you can audibly hear MJF say the word "fuck."
Yeah, that's true.
But yet they can't call. They can't say, "Oh, he got kicked in the nuts" or "kicked in the balls." Like,
Simplicity.
MJF can say "fuck" and they don't bleep it out on pay-per-view. But continuity, come on,
right? Continuity. So Cage goes for the TNT title. He gets, but clocked Luchasaurus by mistake. That's when he decides, oh shit, fucking time to fucking skedaddle. So he quite literally leaves the arena. He's runs to the crowd. He's gone. Copeland hits the spear on Luchasaurus. Coffin drop. That's the win. That's when we then find out Darby's gonna go climb Mount Everest, and I'm just like, can you not right now? Can you like slow down and do some shit that's not fucking crazy? Because you jumped out of a blimp for the Jaguars? He jumped. He did some other fucking. He did the big fucking skate ramp thing, which always scares the fuck out of me.
Did you see him fall on his shoulder again though? That was gnarly.
I hate. Y'all remember a couple years ago that dude, like, he was in the upper atmosphere and he like jumped.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna do Darby, that. I guarantee you, Darby's gonna try and do shit like that.
That would be pretty dope.
He pull an Aerostar and just jump from the rafters. Fucking.
But like at this point, it's like, dude, just you're gonna do something that's gonna fucking kill yourself.
That's
what we're all kind of the idea.
No, that's what we're all afraid of. That's not the idea. It's what we're afraid of. Damn it. But I don't know. There's people that love it, and he is definitely ones that love it. So we got Schiavone on the stage, and he is rudely interrupted. Now, who am I kidding? He's interrupted by the Guns and Switchblade. They come out. They obviously Jay White's still carrying the title. He says he's a champ before Schiavone tells him, "Hey, fucking there, calm it down there, bub." Obviously, he says that MJF is injured and unable to defend his title tonight, so the main event is canceled. So, as he's about to present the title to Jay White, like, literally, Adam Cole's music hits, he comes out, and he says that Tony Khan says that he will face Jay White in the main event for the AEW World Title, and that's immediately when all the medical questions come up. So, MJF just got sent to hospital with a messed up leg. And Adam Cole is, at least storyline, less than 3 weeks out of ankle surgery. Yet...
Not one, but two.
Thank you. So, you've got two one-legged men, but the one-legged man who got hurt on your show gets to go to hospital. But as long as homeboy's in a walking boot, you could fucking wrestle. What the... So... Now, mind you, and this is the other thing I didn't take into context on the last one. Remember who the head of their fucking medical is. It's the same dude that put the fucking oxygen mask on backwards on CM Punk. So.
Wasn't he also the same dude that fucked up CM Punk's elbow back in the E?
No.
That's different doctor.
I thought it was the same guy.
No, different doctor.
Samson's actually the one that saved King when he had a heart attack on Raw.
Well, there you go. Redemption. Lord have mercy, Jesus. All right, let's keep rocking. Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley for the AEW International Championship. And I said it then. I'll say it now. Was it Mox Lesnar, Brox Moxley? I don't fucking know what you want to call it. But Jon Moxley said, I'm going to be everything Brock Lesnar was against John Cena. Fucking 16, 17, however many fucking Germans it was. And that's what this was. This was a sheer monster versus a man, and somehow the man escaped and won the belt. Or retained the belt,
wild because Mox was never booked like this before.
No.
Just anything that OC threw at him, Mox just kept getting up and getting up and getting up and getting up. It took 6 orange punches and a breech bake to finally put Mox down. And then after a while, it's kind of like, oh, shit, I know, there's probably some American fans, wrestling fans, that are probably absolutely hated that.
Oh, yeah.
Had that been in Japan, they would have loved that.
Oh, they'd still be talking about it.
I mean, they probably still are talking about it. It's definitely a clash of styles. It did feel like more of a New Japan style match.
Absolutely.
But It was just kind of weird to see Moxley booked like that, considering he's never really been booked like that before.
Maybe maybe we're seeing something new. You know, do we see more of this?
Brock Moxley.
I like it.
That's interesting that you bring it up. That it was a New Japan style match. I never really thought about it in that context. I guess just because I was so over seeing both Mox and Orange Cassidy go at it at this point that I was kind of tuned out. But that's a really good point that you brought up, because now that I think about it, that's a perfect example of what that was.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. We had talked about it. I know I had talked about it ad nauseam, even on Max, where it's at the point where it's like we felt like this was we're gonna have a second one, and then Orange is gonna win, and then we have to have a third one, and da-da-da. But this one made you say, I don't give a fuck about what had happened. This is what's happening. And it just... That's what I love about wrestling. You know what I mean? The second we gave our opinion and we felt so strongly, and this is just going to crap the bed, or not crap the bed, but this is just going to, leave us expecting more out of the third. This was like, if you have a third, can you top this?
Right.
That's the new question.
And that's the way it should be.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think of the old, you don't really see a whole lot of classic rivalries anymore. Like, in the old days, we had Rock versus Austin. We had, Undertaker versus Mankind. Triple H versus Mankind. You have all, Flair and Dusty, Flair and Steamboat, Flair and Funk. You had all these classics. You don't see that all that often these days.
No.
I mean, Mox versus OC, we had that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, at this point, that's pretty much, it's like him and Mox and OC is one of those huge clashes that we're like falling in love with, and another one that we'll get into in a minute is Swerve and Hangman. That's for goddamn sure. So we'll get into it. So of course, Tony Khan, we got to go to Tony Khan. He talks about the main event and informs us the whole whatever, lets us know that the main event is Jay White, Adam Cole, one-legged man against healthy man. And then he also talks about Mark Briscoe being the third entrant in the Continental Classic, joining Bryan Danielson and Andrade El Idolo. I bring that up because I didn't bring up Eddie Kingston saying that he will defend both the Ring of Honor and New Japan Strong title throughout the tournament. So, kind of forcing us to expect that he's going to win his league, because it's the Blue League and the Gold League. I think he's Gold League. I'm not too sure. But it kind of just makes you feel like it's going to be whomever against Eddie Kingston. And the idea is, from what I'm hearing, and again, this is coming from Uncle Dave, and this is obviously coming from other people, and then Tony Khan kind of emphasized it a little bit in the media scrum, is this is going to go back to having a Triple Crown, similar to the All Japan Triple Crown Championship. Say that 5 times fast. Triple Crown. But anyway, and it's one of those ones where it's going to make every promotion feel a little bit more important. New Japan's willing to give up a belt, which is good, but at the same time, they're getting the Triple Crown champion to come defend, at a strong show. That same champion can headline a Ring of Honor show, or vice versa. They could show up at an AEW on a Dynamite, Rampage, pay-per-view, whatever. This title officially gives it a little bit more lineage and a nice big old-fashioned push.
And not only that, if you think about this, we could also see that same title in a regular New Japan show.
There we go. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about, and I know a lot of people are also forgetting about, that there is a working relationship between the two.
Exactly.
And Wrestle Kingdom is, I want to say, less than 60 days away. About 60 days.
Thereabouts.
So January the 4th,
45 days.
January the 4th. So it's coming up with a quickness. So keep rocking. Timeless Tony Storm, Hikaru Shida, AEW Women's Championship. We had talked about it in the original one. This is striking while the iron is abso-freaking-lutely hot. Abso-freaking-lutely hot. There is no more over woman right now in AEW, probably in wrestling, than timeless Toni Storm. This gimmick has literally reignited her from, oh, Toni Storm won the belt, cool, to, fucking Toni Storm's your champion, to, oh, timeless Toni Storm is champion. And everybody's shouting from the rooftops.
I would go so far as to say, in all of pro wrestling right now, the two most over women, Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley. It's those two at the top.
Yeah, there's nobody
Yeah,
close.
pretty much.
It's hard to argue.
And you know what? So happy for both of them. And you know what? Toni Storm is on a gimmick like this is risky. It's either going to work or it's going to fall flat on its face.
I love
it has
that you brought
worked,
that up.
and props to her for taking that risk.
I love that you brought it up because to me, it's already getting to be a little much. At first, like when the match started and Luther hands her the fucking script and she like that, I'm all about that one. That's cool. Fuck, yeah, rock with that. But then there was just a whole lot more of the over the top, timeless, Marilyn Monroe trying to pretend to be a wrestler rather than Toni Storm, who was one of the best women wrestlers around, being Toni Storm. So it just, as much as the gimmick is over and it's appreciated, it's taken away from the in-ring action that Toni Storm brings. And maybe I feel I might not be the only one that's saying it's a hindrance, but I feel like it's a hindrance. I don't think you need to immediately change it. I think maybe you need to morph it a little bit. You know what I mean? I had talked about it in the last one. Doc Gallows, he used to play Festus when he was sit there with tongue out, the whole whatever. But when the bell rang, he went into motion. Action, he was a killer. Should be a similar thing. You know what I mean? Once the bell rings, it's like saying action. The fucking action is on. You know what I mean?
I see.
Think of Goldust in the 90s.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's you got to find that happy medium, and I've got no doubts that Toni can do that.
Oh, for sure.
None at all.
Yeah, I was mentioning, me and my buddy were watching Full Gear, and we mentioned something similar. I remember saying to myself, I miss paying attention to Toni Storm's wrestling. Mm-hmm. Not to shit on the gimmick at all. No. It's a great gimmick. It's working for her. It's over. Eventually, like Mo was saying, I want there to be some type of balance point. Mm-hmm. Get her, start working in more of her repertoire with some of that character. I understand they're pushing the character now. I can't wait till we see more of her wrestling again.
Figure out a good combo. Rob, anything to add on that one?
No, I actually didn't even think about it like that, but it's kind of good that you said that. To kind of compare it to, like Dan said, Goldust. Uh-huh. The gimmick, obviously it's over the top, it's outlandish, but when it came time to wrestle, we know Dustin can do his thing.
Exactly.
Just like we know Toni can do her thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. So, Cheetah tried to use the kendo stick. Luther took it away. Cheetah ends up getting hit. Ends up getting the whole, what's the fun move that she calls when she, the fucking running hip attack. Then we get the sweet cheek music. That's what they fucking call it. And then that takes the win right there. I know, right? Beautiful name for it. Toni Storm wins the belt. The place goes bananas. LA was one thing we didn't talk about in the other one, and I don't think it's been talked about at all. LA was fucking great. LA was a great fucking crowd.
Always is, baby.
Always
I mean,
one of the big three.
Call it SoCal. Thank you. I was about to say, it's like, call it SoCal biased over here, but LA was hot. Okay, we had some dynamites that felt fucking flatter than dog shit from places in the middle of I don't even know where. But you come to a pay-per-view, and I don't give a crap for your fucking. Oh, it was 13,000. That 13,000 people sounded like 20,000 plus. All right.
It wouldn't matter if it was 13,000, 2,000, 30,000. It would not matter. You got the big three. You got New York, Chicago, LA. They're the big three.
There it is, the big three. All right. Oh God, Maria May. Maria May comes out. She's whatever. I'm waiting for how to see how this one goes. Maria May is like the other like pinup broad that's like following Toni Storm like a sick puppy, and she's out here bringing her flowers and crap. I'm very
She's a
curious
killer
to
in the
see
ring,
how far.
so to see how that's going to transfer into this character, whatever it is, it's kind of interesting.
Very interesting. I'll think of that. All right, keep it rocking. Tag team ladder match. Let's see. Ricky Starks, Big Bill, FTR, the Kings of the Black Thumb, Malachi Black and Brody King, if you're not up to date. And, of course, La Facción Ingobernables, Rush, and Dralistico. Super fun. Super fun. As the haters would say, it was a spot fest. Because
Big ass spot fest.
Because, and I love every single one of these dudes. I do. All of them are great. I'm a fan of every single one of them. But they all grabbed the ladders, did this, and said, fuck off. And took off that way to go do a fucking move with it. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, I get it. Like, we're trying to get our spots in. We need to look fucking cool. But the idea of a ladder match is to win it. Is to, everybody's on the ground, grab a ladder and go up. Not climb it and fucking do a goddamn gunzo bomb like goddamn Brody King, crazy fucking bastard.
Yeah, it was, the psychology was all over the place. It was literally at certain points, you can literally see them going, okay, let's get to the next spot.
Mm-hmm.
And picking up furniture and moving it. And it was just too much of that, but enjoyable still, right?
You know, it
Very
wasn't
much
like
so.
it took away, but it was, okay, well, I mean, I guess. It was one of those.
It was what it was.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you were looking for psychology in this match, you weren't going to find it. No, absolutely not. I mean, there was some great spots in there, though. The Gonzo Bomb being one. Malachi slingshotting that ladder into Cash's face.
Oh, God.
That was pretty gnarly. The Roosh doing his knees into Big Bill into the ladder. That was
Roosh so rough, bro. I love it.
That boy.
They talk about strong style in Japan. They don't realize that it's also in Mexico too. Because good goddamn.
Between him and Eddie Kingston, man, y'all need to tell these boys it ain't real,
right? They can turn it down a notch. You can turn it down a little bit. Oh my goodness gracious!
A wee tad.
Just a wee tad.
Go
for it.
I still say the wrong team won.
I was just gonna bring that up, but you're perfect timing on that.
I perfectly agree.
I said it when we recorded the last time. House of Black should have won this.
We talked about striking while the iron is hot, and out of these teams, there is no hotter team than Malachi Black and Brody King. As we love FTR. We all love FTR. There's not a person in the world that disagrees with that right now.
And we know FTR is circling back to the titles at some point.
Exactly. Yeah. But they just lost the trios. They're kind of plateauing a little bit. And this is a super hot team that could have used the tag titles rather than Ricky Starks and Big Bill. Because guess what? Ricky Starks and Big Bill are pretty over by themselves. They even said it in the presser. We're not a tag team. We're just two singles guys that win.
Yeah, I think they're more over independently anyway.
They don't need the titles. Like, FTR doesn't need the tag titles.
No.
You know, LFI, not yet. Not yet.
It would have been one of those where it was like, I wonder where you're going with this. You know what I mean?
Work towards it.
Yeah.
House of Black are super over. Fans love them.
Oh, fuck yeah. Right here.
You know, Malachi Black, I've been a fan of his since, NXT. Since I first saw him, on the first NXT UK when he did one of the takeovers there.
Tommy Ann, baby.
And he has a unique look. Brody King has a unique... How many people do you see that look like Brody King?
That boy is a motherfucking offensive lineman doing lucha.
And can move. He can move. He can
lucha.
He can move like a cruiserweight.
It's fucking, it's crazy. He is a quite
Why
literal.
are you not highlighting them more?
He's a quite literal offensive lineman, 6'2", 6'3", 300 plus fucking pounds, out here flying like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. Agile is all shit too.
Hopefully, the boy gets some shine in this tournament
That's
because it's
Hopefully,
been a long time coming.
Well, it's not an elimination tournament, right?
no.
Not to
No,
steer off into the
round
topic.
round
Okay.
robin.
it's
Cool.
G1. It's American G1.
Yeah, it's
It's
round
great
robin,
value.
all about points. 3 for a win,
It's
1 for a
great
loss.
value
Or tie.
G1.
Yeah, 1 loss.
That's fact.
Oh, come on. It's a little better than that. It's a little, just a little.
Ooh.
It's not exactly. What's the fucking Vaughn's, the signature? There you go. It's the signature. It's still store brand, but, like a better store than Walmart. Come on, a little bit better. So we jumped right into it. The wrong team won. Ricky Starks and Big Bill retained the gold. I'm very curious to see where they go from here. I mean, maybe it's a straight shot towards FTR. Maybe even a straight shot towards... It could be a straight shot towards any one of these fucking teams after the fact, but I feel like they're about to just sit on the tag division.
Well, we have a new number 1 contender too, so I mean, keep that in mind.
That's true. This is true. Oh. I mean, Jericho and oh god, I can't imagine that.
Let's not.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to rack my brain. We're gonna end up doing the thing.
It's gonna. It's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen.
It's one of those.
And we don't want it. We don't want it to, but yeah.
All right, back on the positivity train. Julia Hart, Chris Statlander, Sky Blue TBS title match.
Yes.
All 3 of these ladies, from where they've I didn't bring this one up, from where they've started to where they are now, leaps and fucking bounds.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely. You know what? Honestly, especially with Julia Hart.
She had 2 matches before showing up in AEW. 2. And both,
Wow, I didn't know that.
Weren't both of
Yeah.
them for bar wrestling?
I think so. Yeah.
Does that even considered wrestling?
No, they weren't for bar. They weren't for bar wrestling.
No, they
were
weren't?
for
Okay.
APW.
Oh, I'm thinking of the bunny. Get my
Oh,
blondes
yeah,
mixed
yeah.
up.
That's where Hobbs is
Still.
at. APW, right?
Still.
That's where he's from?
Yeah.
I mean, she's really gotten better, and honestly, putting her with Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, like, I can't imagine 3 better talents to learn from.
No, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
For sure. Yeah, and if you're not going to go the veteran route,
Honestly,
that's who you're going with.
I would say House of Black has done for Julia Hart what over in WWE what Judgment Day has done for Dominic Mysterio.
Beautifully put.
Good comparison.
Subtle, but it worked to a point where they're now very, very over. I like that.
Exactly.
I like that a lot. Fun match. Sky. I for a minute I thought Sky Blue was going to take it. It looked like Sky Blue could to be the win. There was the tease of the turn of Sky Blue helping Julia Hart, and then she told her to fuck off, which I kind of liked.
Yeah, that was...
But I mean, it makes you think. Then what's with the fucking black eyeliner, or is that just a look?
Exactly.
It makes you
We're
ask
getting
questions.
the House of Black Wolf Pack.
I like this. I see, but I've been wanting that. I think we had talked about that in the other one, where
Yeah, we did.
there was the whole thing of Julia Hart having a whole little like women's click-a-majig, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's make it happen. And
The Coven, bro.
if you can have 50 million offshoots of Bullet Club, why can't you have a female offshoot of House of Black? Why can't you do that?
let's keep it funky. There would be no Bullet Club if there was no NWO.
Right.
Let's just keep it funky with that one. All right, so and then of course we go right back to the fun part. They strike while the iron is hot. Julia Hart, your new TBS champion. No shade thrown at Chris Statlander. It's not a knock on Chris Statlander. We love Chris Statlander. Hell, I know y'all love Chris Statlander, and as you should, because she's fucking great.
Right.
But
It's phenomenal.
But again, it's one of those things where the iron is hot, you use it, you hit it, you roll with it, and there is no hot. This is the third hot woman in the fucking business right now. Is Julia Hart.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think at one point she was top 5 in merch sales for AEW.
Correct.
Right after the turn, I think.
And
watch it get
the
bigger.
thing of it is, Statlander doesn't need the TBS title anymore.
No. She
Move
needed
her up
it
to
for
the-
like a minute, honestly.
Exactly.
Yes, she did need it at some point. Now that she's had it, she can go without a title for quite some time.
Absolutely.
Oh, quite some time.
Move her up and have her feud with Tony Storm.
There we go.
Okay.
Yep. Let's go for it. Rock with it. Will Ospreay is officially all elite. We saw this coming. I saw this coming. I think we've all seen this coming. But the thing that is still very intriguing to me is the fact that Tony Khan was able to go to Japan and convince them to allow this young man to sign while still under contract with New Japan. So he will join AEW in the full capacity as of February the 1st. Or January. Is there a 30th? Let's say it's a January 31st.
Yeah.
They got something out of this.
Oh, I'm sure there's, but fuck, we already got Brian over there for Wrestle Kingdom. I'm sure there's going to be more.
That was just that. Yeah,
I made the point on the last show, and I'll make this again. And this is why it makes sense for Ospreay to sign with AEW as opposed to WWE. He still wants to live in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to still want to do New Japan shows from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
He can do that with AEW. Had he signed with, say, WWE,
Can't do that.
they would want him stateside. They would want him in Orlando or somewhere like that. They're not going to let him do outside appearances anyway. That stops the second you sign on the dotted line.
Pretty much.
And also the travel schedule. Would you want to do that if you were him?
Fuck no.
No.
No, hell no.
And from a business standpoint, it makes sense for him.
Well, no, it makes sense on many points. He is a father. He didn't want to pull his kid out of school. Being in an English school is way better than being in an American school. I can almost fucking guarantee you that. So he didn't want to do that. Tony Khan obviously has no problem with him staying in the UK. Hell, fucking Tony Khan owns fucking Fulham Football Club, so I'm sure he could just fucking jump on that plane and hop on over whenever he needs to. So this is a great move. It's come down to find out that it's a multi-year deal. I want to say 3 years. So it's great. We're going to get the fucking Ospreay Omegas again. We can get Ospreay Jericho for whoever wants to see it. Ospreay versus a whole bunch. Ospreay and Jay White is going to happen on AEW television and not, New Japan. I'm saying this is a great move.
Sign me up.
Maybe, pending on what happens, maybe we get Ospreay and MJF.
Hey. And that's, you know what? You bring that up because we didn't talk about it. Wembley. Does this guarantee this cat a title shot, if not a title win at Wembley?
You would be stupid if you didn't.
99.9% chance.
Another episode, player. Whole nother episode.
You'd be stupid. You would be stupid not to do that.
It is a great saying. It's a whole other episode. Swerve Scott, Hangman, Adam Page, Texas Death Match. We could cover a whole episode on just this one absolute masterpiece of sheer brutality to its ultimate fullest. I don't think I've never seen a violent match of this sort. Previously rated the most vicious wrestling match in history on television was none other than Swerve Strickland's alter ego, Killswitch, against AR Fox on Lucha Underground. So the fact that he's the guy to repeat it, but even worse, doesn't surprise me. The thing that does surprise me is the next fucking day, this guy's at the Rams game like it's nothing.
Like nothing ever happened.
Like it's nothing.
That boy was still hurting.
He was more pissed off.
Staples in his titties.
He was more pissed off that the fucking they were chanting whose house instead of Swerve's house. They said Ram's house. He was like, no, that's bullshit. After yesterday, it's definitely Swerve's house. Jesus Christ.
This is Swerve's world at this point.
Trust me, we'll get into his world. And thank you for bringing up Jim Cornette, who is absolutely going to be the Geek of the Week this week, for his lovely. He stapled his titties or stapled paper to his titties or whatever the fuck. I don't know any grown man, especially one in their fucking 60s, who is willingly enough to call another grown man's chest titties. And then like with the passion that he said it too. Like fucking Cornette kills me sometimes, both in a good and a bad way. Like, I laughed, don't get me wrong, I laughed. But it's just
funny. It was very funny.
Oh my goodness gracious. So we're talking about the stapler. For those who are those hardware buffs out there, they used the smallest gauge staple they could. So don't think that they went bananas with something fucking nuts. They didn't. It was the smallest gauge staple. The like 2 sizes above the fucking staple that you use on a regular one for the fucking, classroom or whatever. Stapled fucking pictures of his son's artwork onto Swerve. Fantastic shit. The barbed wire fucking chair, I don't know who made it. They're a sick bastard. These home run shots too, bro. These talk about swing batter over here, Barry Bonds in it with this fucking chair. Hey, I'm like going through the little bit of notes that I've gone through, and it's all coming back. All the visuals. The number one visual is the number one visual for everyone, and if it's not, it should be. And it's Hangman just drinking the pouring blood from fucking Swerve's face. And then spits it in the air like COVID's not still a thing. And I'm just...
That's such a great picture. I hope that picture lives forever.
Oh, it should be a t-shirt.
What's it?
I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be.
Not to knock the moment, but in a testament to this match, the moment I thought you were gonna say how many great moments there was in this match was the barbed wire getting caught in not only Swerve's mouth early on, but in Hangman's mouth.
That one was a little worse.
And Swerve's trying to pull the chair back because he thinks it's caught in like Hangman's hair, and it's caught in Hangman's mouth.
In his mouth,
breaking boy on the face.
That boy was getting a full Joker.
Man, yeah. No, it was when the scripted brutality of pro wrestling gets extra real fucking fast. That's what happens, because you see him swing it. And then you see him swing it again, and then you just see this fucking lasso of barbed wire. And it's...
Right.
Sickening just to fucking think about it.
It's rough. It's one of those things where it's rare that happens, and this is one of the few matches where it happens, where the animosity that was in the promos matched the animosity that was in the video packages, which matches the animosity that you got in this match.
Absolutely.
It's very rare that it just is across the board where it just felt like these dudes hated each other, that they were legit fighting, and this was as brutal as it was going to get, and it literally delivered on every single level.
And kudos to Prince Nana for that table spot.
He ate every
and his role in the whole thing, the whole like when they Swerve broke into Hangman's house and they were in the crib and Nana was acting nervous in the house, he made it feel real the whole time. It wasn't just Hangman and Swerve. Nana was in on that, and he made it feel real.
Yeah, I must say the subtleness of Nana has literally made this whole thing just different and better. The one thing I have to shit on really quick, and we shat on it last time, and we shall shout on it again, is Street Fighter Brian Cage coming out to make a fucking save.
Yeah.
Because why not? Whatever this motherfucker can do to come out in a pair of tight jeans and some fucking gloves that he obviously stole from Kenny, because I don't know any bigger Street Fighter fan, and just come out here and he tries to fucking powerbomb Hangman Page. He gets fucking raked with fucking barbed wire into the fucking face, gets a bunch of fucking elbows, and that's it. So the guy comes in to get his ass beat, but he looks like a giant Ryu. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was definitely.
That was probably a Pat Buck booking decision.
It was.
They know their nose.
It was definitely one of those buckery kind of moves that just didn't make too much sense. But it is what it is. But in this one, the right man won perfectly. Swerve wraps a chain around Hangman's neck, literally hangs him, lets him go, and that's what gets the 10 count. And with that, we have to start asking the fucking question, and it should be asked immediately, is how soon until Swerve Strickland is AEW World Champion? Is the first ever AEW Black Champion. Like, that's what I need. How fucking soon?
World's End.
The Black Champion.
World's End. World's End.
World's
End. Yeah, it's got...
Okay.
Who is he taking it from, OC?
No, hear me out. Here's what you do. You have is coming. That's like the next big Dynamite, right?
Right.
Joe versus MJF. MJF retains. Then you have Swerve win a number one contenders match or whatever, however you want to do it, fine. He faces MJF at World's End. And I think, honestly, what you do, you have him annihilate MJF. People love MJF right now. You break people's hearts at World's End. Because where is World's End? Long Island. MJF's home.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
DC.
You establish Swerve as the next greatest heel, not just in an AEW, but in all of wrestling.
That is so nasty.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So nasty. MJF already's got longest reign, so why not?
I literally had this whole other idea. That fucking idea is minuscule.
Too.
It's minuscule now. Are you kidding me? That would be. I've said it twice already. That would be the third time where you're striking while the iron is beyond hot. Beyond hot. And then on top of that, you're flipping the dynamic of how now the show is run. Now every baby face is aiming towards that asshole. Now it's not, oh, hey, MJF's our fucking, he's our scumbag. No, it's who's the first guy that's going to fucking beat Swerve. I'm so sick of goddamn Swerve, for those of you who are fucking believing this shit kind of thing. It's one of those where you have a heel champ. And heel champs just work better.
Exactly.
Oh, man, this is too much.
Oh, my God.
Send that to Tony.
Oh, he's already here. He's in here. He's hiding in here somewhere.
He's hiding in here. He's the reason why the fucking first one didn't go up. And there he goes.
See,
there goes fucking Harold's
he
gone.
cut Harold.
He cut Harold. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? He's in here. He cut Harold out of nowhere.
It's pretty messed up. Pretty messed up, TK.
What are you doing?
But I'm telling you, you do it at World's End, make Swerve the next biggest heel in all of wrestling.
Please.
Yeah.
Por favor.
I love it.
All right, we got to keep going. We only got about we get back as fast as we can here. Golden Jets against the Young Bucks. Again, talked about it. I'll continue to talk about it until I'm blue in the face. The Young Bucks can tell fucking stories. I don't care what you say. However, I didn't think they were going to lose. I thought this was going to be their way of just, hey, we have to no more Jericho and Omega. Oh, well, no more Jericho and Omega. And yet, the rumors of them taking some time for themselves are coming way faster than we thought.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. We did get the lovely swerve of Kenny possibly turning on Jericho. He doesn't turn on Jericho. Ends up hitting a V trigger on Nick. Brilliant
that
little
was
spot
very
there.
well done.
That was brilliant.
And then if we're talking about brilliant and all the fun stuff, Jericho, we talk about all the fucking Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and whomever tag matches. And now, granted, this wasn't him and Hangman, and this definitely wasn't him and Ibushi, but this was, in my opinion, a little bit better than expected. I thought it was going to be a little on the shit side. Jericho can't keep up, one of those kind of things, and he proved us all wrong. Or at least me. That's sure.
Going into it, we were talking about it being a cool-down match,
Jericho,
and it's far from that.
Yeah, Jericho refused to let it be a cool down. That's for sure.
And, props to Jericho, a dude who's in his 50s, and that he is still able to go consistently at this level. If you don't have Chris Jericho on your list of all-time greats,
yeah, dude,
I can't.
What are you doing with your life?
You're playing yourself.
We're literally at that point right now where he has become the undeniable. So you got to follow that one. Okay, here we go.
Guaranteed
to the fun,
future Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
He's gonna go in the Hall of Fame.
The funnest part of it all, for the one-legged man against the totally healthy man. And no, I'm not talking MJF. I mean Adam Cole. He comes out. He's in crutches. He's in this one crazy blue sneaker and a walking boot. And we swear to God, oh my God, this is really going to happen. This is really going to happen. They're both in the ring. Him and Jay White are both. It's really going to happen. We hear the ambulance. Very WWE, mind you. We hear the ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
MJF is fighting off like 14 fucking people just to get to the ring. And they ring the bell and they go at it. It's happening. MJF, the man that got beat up, is defending his title against MJF. He's hitting shot after shot, body slams. He tries to go for the kangaroo kick. Obviously, leg gives out, can't hit it. And that's when Jay White just goes on the absolute offensive. Just giant Uranage, big vicious chops to the point where MJF is screaming, like, I want more, give me more. The strike battle went back and forth. It had some New Japan feel to it, but an overall WWE-esque match, which is kind of crazy to think that because, again, we're in AEW. There is reminiscence of New Japan, but MJF makes the WWE look good, and he brings that here. Excellent little blend of everything. So MJF ends up collapsing at one point. The doctor's checking on him multiple times. Jay White says, okay, well, cool. Well, check this out. I'm going to hit 2 fucking dragon screws on your fucked up leg. We think this is pretty much going to be the end of it. Cole he grabs one of the Ring of Honor titles. He tries to, he wants to fucking hit Adam Cole, or hit Jay White. Jay White takes it from him, flips him off, goes to go hit MJF, and ends up colliding with Bryce. Everybody's down. The diamond ring happens. That's when he flips off Adam Cole. But then again, they're not low blows. It's a giant kick in the balls. MJF kicks Jay White right in the balls. The guns hit the ring. They get dropped immediately, and then it's a lovely slow count after MJF has hit the loaded punch with the ring. It's a lovely slow count to get the 3. MJF still your AEW World Champion. Him and Adam Cole are hugging it out, flipping off Jay White. So it's just the MJ and the J got me, bro. I'm just gonna keep it fucking with you people. And it's the feel good moment. It's the guy that got beat up in the beginning of the show coming back to win it at the end of the show and retaining it. The ultimate babyface, but it leaves some questions. It leaves some questions. I didn't talk about the gigantic fucking elbow spot. We didn't talk about it. It's crazy because of it. He's got a fucked up hip. Don't do it.
The hip. It popped out of place.
Do not be fucking doing elbows off the fucking top rope 16 feet down to the goddamn floor. Don't do it. Don't do it, kids.
I mean, props to the commitment. He definitely committed to the spot. He definitely could have took some other avenues, but he committed.
For sure.
And I can't.
Right?
I mean,
props
we got to figure
what
that's
can
probably
you
what,
say?
10, 15 feet up in the air, right?
Easy.
Yeah.
Give or take.
On the hip.
On the hip 2
bone.
inches of padding.
He did not have
On
to.
the hip bone.
1.5 inches, baby. I know from experience.
Did not have to.
Hey,
how you doing?
Giggity.
How you doing? Hey,
I got an
give
inch
him
and a
with the
half for you,
swerving, with the
baby.
dancing, the swerving. So, honestly, we had talked about it at the beginning. Probably one of the better AEW pay-per-views in a hot minute. That's for goddamn sure. It was a lot of fun in a lot of great ways. 3 excellent matches back to back to back. One was supposed to be a cool down. They said, fuck your cool down. Just excellent. It's going to be hard to want to top come World's End, but I'm curious to see how we get there. I already told you. Oh, that's how we get to the main event. I'm wondering how everything else happens. I wonder who's going to be the guy at the end of the Continental Classic. You know, who's next for Tony Storm. There's a lot of questions going to that one. But the only questions we got for you is when you're coming back for more. And that's when we're going to drop some more stuff, which is hopefully relatively soon. We do got Survivor Series coming up this weekend. Maybe we get into the WWE realm and fucking do some shit like that. Who knows if we want to get crazy. But other than that, we got to get into what the boys are getting into. You know, it's about them just as much as it's about me. So, Harold, what's the haps? Wait, I'm missing the food areas. I need the eateries. You know what I need? I need LA pizza. LA pizza is way better than San Diego pizza. And we have Little Italy, for fuck's sake.
I'll take your word on that. You know, we've been
still probably one of the best pizzas I've ever had.
Hey, you know, it's been a little hush around these parts. We got a European vacation coming up pretty soon, so we're getting ready for that. That's a big one. But if you like food in the Los Angeles areas, events, any kind of showbiz and dazzle that we got here, check us out. Too Sweet Click. YouTube.
Maybe,
gotta do it.
Maybe
gotta
a TSK goes to Europe
video. Here we go. It's coming, he says. It's in the works, ladies and gents.
It's
TSK
happening.
goes European, and you're not European, they're European. Rob, what's the haps? We're getting swole is the goal. Size is the prize.
Right. So we made the joke, obviously, due to our technical difficulties, that there's too much meaty men.
Too much
on the screen here, and I'll be working on some fitness content. The doctor said I gotta drop some, so we gonna drop some.
Nice.
We got some music in the pipeline coming through. Some guitar lessons. You know, interactive online stuff coming through. New Consuming Fire music, hopefully sooner than later. It's been a long time waiting, and if you've been waiting, thank you. It's been a long time. I know.
We know.
Any of my social media, you check me out at linktree/ Hey, it's Rob.
Hey, it's Rob. DC, tomorrow morning, the countdown is officially almost over with. It's you, it's me, it's Dazzy, it's Cypher, tag team titles, plus winner stays on Gauntlet for the knowledge title.
It's already over.
We already won. He says they're not predictions, ladies and gentlemen. They are spoilers. I've got my tag title. I've got the world title. There's so much to fucking do. There's so much wrestling to talk. We talked about it here. I'm gonna do some more on Max. We might even come back this weekend with Survivor Series, but for sure we will be back. And the only way to know that is to follow us right here on the Max Wrestling's YouTube page. But make sure you're checking out the TSK and Max. Let's hit us all up. It's all good shit around here. It's all good shit. So with all that being said, we're gonna get on up out of here. We hope y'all enjoyed Dynamite tonight, because we know we will, and we will catch y'all around the bend, as that one guy used to say in that one show. So, Too Sweet, me boy, let's see it out. Beep.